First, she was diagnosed with unexplained infertility. Sound familiar? You all know that I do not like that diagnosis. And then when she turned 42, she was told she was going through early menopause and that she had to do IVF, but she did not accept that answer. And she knew deep down that she was not going to do IVF, that the way she was going to get pregnant was going to be naturally. And so the pandemic hit. She had a little extra time on her hands because she was home, and she took matters into her own hands. She joined my Hope fertility coaching program, and that's when I got to work with her. Okay, so now let's start listening to Millie share her story with us.
We were both older, he is 5 years older than me. So at that point, even before we were married, we were like, okay, we probably need to start trying. So then I went to a fertility doctor, and they were like, your eggs are fine. They checked my eggs, they checked my ovaries, everything was fine. Of course, they said unexplained fertility. And then I went to another doctor, and they're like, you're going through menopause. I was like, what?
So at 41, she went to see her first fertility doctor because she knew when she got married with her husband, who's 5 years older, that they needed to be serious. They needed to be proactive in how they approach this. And I truly respect it. I think all of you should be proactive when you know it's time. And don't leave these timelines to whoever is telling you what to do. She knew in her heart that she needed to do something. So she went, and like many of you were told that it was unexplained infertility. So what do you do with that? You just keep trying. And then when she turned 42, she went to see a different doctor. And sure enough, what did they tell her? That she was going through early menopause. She was still determined to get pregnant.
I'm 42 years old, or 41. I was 41 at the time. No, I was so mad. So then I started watching, I looked it up, YouTube, what's going on? Do I have PCOS? Do I have endometriosis? Just all these things, that what could possibly be wrong? So I saw Marc's YouTube videos in August. And then the pandemic hit, and I kind of was, okay, do this, do that, watching his videos. And I saw one where it says, you need to put an ice pack for the mail. So I was like, let's try that.
It's a good video, by the way.
And the pandemic hit in April. I was like, this is a great opportunity. I'm home. I can work from home. It's a great opportunity to start my journey. So I believe I started reaching out in April. I want to say I started the program in May.
So she knew that there was an opportunity for her to make change and an opportunity for her to get the results that she wanted to. So she did seek out our help to join our program when the pandemic hit because it was the right time for her. We all have to ask ourselves, when's the right time for ourselves, right? But we can't also put it out for too long, which was one of the things that I really respected about her and her husband's decisions is because they were a little bit older, they knew that they couldn't wait too long and they had to make a decision now.
My husband tested fine. Again, I tested fine. But prior to meeting my husband, I did have some stomach issues, and I did not think that was it. My body couldn't process certain foods. And at the time, my doctor said, oh, just stay away from those foods. Unfortunately, those foods were healthy foods. So he gave me a probiotic and just said, stay away from those foods. Well, of course, that led to Marc discovering it was inflammation. So that was a shocker to me. Just the simplest thing that I knew about could have prevented infertility.
So I do want to say a couple things and note out a couple things here. One is we did an extensive testing with her and her husband when they joined the coaching program. And we found that most things looked good, okay, but because of her history, which she mentioned, her digestive history, we did run a stool test for her. And one of the results that came out was that there was a lot of inflammation, but the inflammation was there specifically because she had unwanted bacteria, bad bacteria, those bugs, those nasty bugs that were there that we didn't want to see. And she didn't have enough good quality, healthy bacteria in her digestive tract, in her intestines. So that was something that we really needed to change constitutionally for her. So the first part of her plan was about a detox, getting rid of the unwanted bacteria and restoring the healthy good bacteria, the good probiotics that needed to be there, and balancing that out. So that was step number one for her. But on top of it, because she was over 40, we always wanted to make sure that we were supporting egg quality and ovarian reserve. So we layered that in, but that was kind of priority number 2 in that first phase. And after we were able to clear that out, the bad bacteria, restore the good bacteria, then that changed, the priorities changed. So phase 2 of her program was more focused on egg quality and ovarian reserve. And secondary was keeping the healthy digestive function intact.
So I started doing the things that he recommended, and even the things he didn't recommend for me, I did the other things that he recommended in his videos, like did acupuncture. So I pretty much did everything I possibly could do. Well, then in my group, everybody was getting pregnant except me, of course. So I was like, what is going on? You know, I'm doing all these things. Well, then my dad died. He was 60 years old in December 2nd. And I just stopped. You know, I stopped eating, not very good. I was still taking everything that he recommended, but the eating part was hard. And I kind of paused the program and stopped going to the meetings because I just wanted to focus on my family. Well, in January, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna give up the fertility program.
You heard those words, right? Everyone was getting pregnant around her in our program. A lot of the members were getting pregnant with, and that was a bit discouraging to her because she knew she was doing all the right things. She was doing everything that she could. She wasn't getting the results or seeing that final result, quite frankly. And then her father passed away and everything went off the rails. She started to lose hope and belief in herself, in her ability to get pregnant. And this is when things changed. So if you remember earlier, I said that she lost the belief in herself, in the fact that she could get pregnant. And she needed to find that again. She needed to dig deep to find that again. And that's not easy. It's not. But to her credit, she was able to do that. And let's listen in on that right now.
But then I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what Marc recommended just to be healthy because I want to be healthy. So I started doing all the things that he told me to do again. And boom, I was pregnant in January. And I was shocked.
So this is an important piece right here, okay? She lost hope in herself because life was stressful. Life was difficult. It wasn't easy. And she knew that she was doing everything, but she wasn't getting the results and she didn't understand why. And I want to remind you all, sometimes we just have to keep going. We have to continue doing what we're doing because you know you're doing all the right things, and we have to continue to give it an opportunity, a chance. And sometimes that means giving it a little bit longer because it just might take a little bit longer. So for her, she had to let go. She had to let go of the belief that she couldn't get pregnant. She had to also let go of that desire to get pregnant because the desire to get pregnant was causing her too much stress. All these things impacted her stress levels, piled one after another. So finally she was able to let go and just say, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I'm okay with it, but I'm gonna do these things because it's the right thing to do for me and my health. And that's what she did, and that's when she got pregnant.
My doctor was telling me to, you know, you're fine, nothing's wrong with you. And if I knew what I knew 5 years ago, we I could have more kids, and I think secretly we want another one.
Yes, I love that.
And I'm 40? I just turned 43. So,
She just turned
because
43.
you don't know. You
Right when
watch,
she was having
I must
her
have
baby.
PCOS. That's must what I have, I must have this, and I was self-diagnosing myself because the doctors weren't telling me anything besides, oh, you can have kids, but that's not happening. And I always remember in his group sessions, he's always so hopeful. And in his videos, he had that hope sign. And that was so encouraging. Every time I got on the call, I was like, okay, I can do this. It was like a re-energizing, just you can do this, you can do this. So I think that support and getting to the bottom of what was really, really it, inflammation has nothing to do with, that system down there. So it's mind-blowing that he got to the bottom of it. Marc's support was just amazing. And even in the program, I lost hope, because everybody in the program was getting pregnant.
Through it all, it's hard. It's hard when we know that we're doing everything. It's hard when we're doing all these things and it's still not working. It's hard when all these couples were getting pregnant around you and it's still not working for you, right? It's hard, but it's about being determined, being consistent, and most importantly, getting the right support for what you need. Getting the support, the constant support to lift you up when it's difficult, to keep you going when it's hard, to keep you motivated when you don't want to stay motivated. And that's what the Hope Coaching Program does and did for her. I knew deep down inside, from the first moment I spoke to Millie, that she could get pregnant. I knew that it was possible for her. If we could find the right answers and if she could stay motivated long enough, she could be successful. And it was bumpy and it was difficult, but she was successful. At her age, she was successful, which tells me you all can be too. You just need the right guidance, the right support, and the right plan for your specific needs. So if you want that guidance, I want to invite you all to join the Hope Fertility Coaching Program using the link in the description below. What did you learn from Millie's story? What did you learn from her determination, her commitment, her desire to get pregnant? I want to hear from all of you. And I know that Millie's going to be watching this video, and I know that she wants to hear from all of you too. Comment below and let us know. What was impactful about her story? What really struck a chord in your heart? What is it from her story that's going to make you make changes now? Comment below and let me know. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber to my YouTube channel, then you need to be, so that we can help support you and help you get pregnant as well. So hit that bell right there to subscribe and get notified when I put out a new video. And until the next video, stay fertile.